Everyone is so pleasant, they're so helpful, and I always know when I call, I can hang up that phone call satisfied.
Why do you think that you have the right to silence me?
I always said that I don't want to be heard, I want to be felt. I don't want to make my mark, I want to make my dent.
I didn't realize at the time that I was actually one of the biggest activists and largest organizers of white nationalism and alt-right in the United States.
They are what is considered by most people sort of your button-up white supremacists, your suit and tie Nazis.
Arguably, what they spew, while it's hateful and deplorable, is political speech, and so therefore it's protected under the Constitution.
Cops! Why are you letting the fascists out here? You've got us blocked off, but you're letting the fascists come and harass us? We want them out of here now, damn it, or we're coming over the fucking barrier!
I can't walk in fear, and we don't walk in fear, you know, and I thank God for that.
Honestly, I wanted to make sure that when I left this earth, there would be something left behind that was worth a damn.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Daryle Lamont Jenkins,
Beth Foster.
and this is Antifascism O.G, which is what you see right now in Minneapolis. Man, it's been a hell of a week, and yesterday we had a whole bunch of nonsense of people getting shot again, and we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it, and it is getting nastier. Never mind with the ICE crowd, but it's also amongst all of the how should I say, the activists on the other side, the ones who
Mm-hmm.
defend the Babbitt, Babbitt, and now think that everybody, no one else is going to get that kind of defense. Well, we don't need it. We don't need it, because the truth of the matter is, Babbitt did something foul. Something. I mean, basically, she broke the law. She got what she deserved. Renee Good, and I said her name wrong last week. She did nothing wrong, not a damn thing, and that's what's setting people off. Um, and there were others that we're going to that were. I think they said I was looking at it because I was going to give a tribute to them. Um, um, I was going to pay tribute to those who had been killed by ICE since Trump has come back. I got a number. Beth, you said 52 because I got 32.
Let me look, Daryl. I can't remember what that number was.
I
It's
saw.
it's
Oh, go on.
way up in the double digits.
And it's just going to keep on going up, especially now
Mm-hmm.
because we are hearing that Trump is going to try to do the in the act, the Insurrection Act, which is only the last time it was used. It was during the rebellion in Los Angeles, and before that, it was trying to it was protecting students after they the desegregated schools.
So
So
it looks like, Daryl, 34 people died in ICE detention in 2025, and 4 have already died in 2026 in ICE detention. And as far as the number they've killed and just literally shot outright, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, actually resulting in deaths.
yeah, and some of those. I but one guy that died in jail. He I don't remember his name, but he had Alzheimer's. He didn't
Oh,
even know what was going on. I learned that there was something on TikTok. There's a video that was done about all the people who were killed by by ICE, and he was one of them. And when I saw that, I was just like, "Come on, y'all! You cannot say that you're right. You can't." And I'm sorry, Murph. I'm just trying to find something. But if you got to do some work right quick, let's go. I'm talking to my director right now. but but no, it is rather. It's there's nothing positive that you can say about anything that the government is doing, or the right wingers really. We've
the positive, Daryl, I've seen is the people coming out with literally brooms and shovels to say we're not going to have this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and they're going after them hard too. But you know what the concern I have? Because I'm hearing it now more and more and more. Those brooms and shovels are going to turn into something else.
Yeah.
We got the Black Panthers, I believe in Philly, that are walking the streets now.
Yep.
And all I know is that I just got to make sure that everything is tight with me being able to strap up when I'm out there because I don't know what's going to be happening over the next couple of months. Especially, I mean, if it's like this now, if it's like that this right now, in the coldest of months, can you imagine when everything starts warming up?
Yeah.
When it's, I mean, right now I heard also that there was supposed to be some be counter rally that's supposed to be taking place this weekend in Minneapolis. And if it's that idiot Jake Lang, he's going to have to be dealt with at some point. Not illegally, but he is going to have to be dealt with because he's basically a J6er who's grifting, who's doing a racial grift on anything that's going on at this time. I mean, the first time I came across him trying to do this is when you're talking about Carmelo Anthony, and he had a rally, a white rights or whatever rally in in Texas against him, and the father of I want to say his name properly, Austin Metcalf, I believe the last name was. His father told him to go pound sand. Not that way, but he told him to pound sand, and he's been going in recent months. He's just been harassing people in Dearborn, Mississippi, Mississippi, really, Michigan, trying to be anti Muslim, and I can see him. I can see him being the guy that's putting together the rally, and that's supposed to be happening in uh, in Minneapolis. That's supposed to be opposing what's going on right now. Um, I I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. It's not this idiot. I hope it's not that idiot. But if it is, we're going to have. This is one of the reasons why. Incidentally, I should say this. It's one of the reasons why you see us a little bit more active on the IDVOX side, because we're putting more articles in. We want people to start coming to the site too, so that they can promote whatever it is they need to promote. We also want to make sure that you got all the information about what's going on out there. Um, I want to send a shout out to all. It's going down, because last year they was talking about they was going to shut down everything. They changed their mind after all of this nonsense that's been going on. They said, "Nah, we can't go. We got
We
this to do."
need those voices so much right now. There's just so much going on that you can't keep up with it.
Oh,
And it's these independent anti-fascist sites are going to keep us informed about those things that aren't going to make it out of the overwhelming amount of news. So we
mhm.
need all those, and like Itavox, and it's going down. We
Right.
need that so much right
And
now.
and you Unicorn Riot. We got to throw them out there
Yep.
too, because we're using some of that stuff on our site as well.
Yep.
Um, and anybody else that's out there that's doing it um on social media, because some of the a lot of the information that we get is coming off of social media. But I will stress that anybody that's solely on social media has to try to do what they can to have their own website, in case anything goes stupid with the website, and you don't get and you get blocked, you get suspended, or whatever. You still have your own thing where people can go to. So you want to try to do that as much as you can. I know I'm an old fart saying that, but hey, I got this. So by not being stupid. So, and it's not stupid if you're just using social media, but by the same token, it's a good idea to have something that's in completely control of you. So, and that you can control, I should say. Um, and I don't. We got a guest coming up that's going to be. We're going to be talking about the American Renaissance Conference, and that the information and all the stuff has been going on around that lately. Um, and we also want to show some love to somebody who was out there when they were originally working with them, but then the next thing, and then they thought she was radioactive in that time, and basically dropped her. And it was a woman named Claudia. Oh boy, me and my stroke. Coven.
Claudette
Claudia
Colvin, yeah.
Claudia Coven. And she before, and then there's an article about her on OPP right now, or rather on Idavox right now, and we're showing love to her because she passed on this week. We lost her, and we want to just make sure that everybody
The civil rights movement, yeah.
Actually, Claudette Colvin became one of the plaintiffs in the lawsuit that gave us something that ended the boycott, that ended the segregation on the buses in Montgomery. So, and that
I have a
is
unit that I teach about Claudette Colvin with my middle school history class. And there's a quote that she said later on, and she was talking about that moment on the bus when she's got to decide if she's going to get up. And she said, I felt Sojourner Truth's hand on one shoulder and Harriet Tubman's hand on the other shoulder, and they were saying, "Sit down, girl." I love that quote.
she was really studying. If you see the article that I had written on Idavox, it points out that she got really involved after after someone was arrested for being a so-called what should I say because they were arrested because they said they raped a white woman, and and uh and was executed later. And that's what radicalized her. And I wanted to just and that was when she was in high school. That was before she got on that bus. That was before she got before everything happened on on the bus. But I also want to talk about how the civil rights movement is still, I should say, causing a little bit of people are still shell shocked from that. I mean, well, at least Trump is, and he's still mad about it. He's still mad about the about what happened in the '60s, and I'm trying to get everything up and set up and ready to go.
He's
So,
still mad that people of color have equal rights. I mean, that's the gist of it. Yeah.
and the yep, and it's stupid, and it's stupid. Basically, I'll show you. Let me see. Hopefully, let me see if this is working because I'm having some problems with some. Yeah, so here he goes. He gave this report. He gave this how should I say this he was talking to the New York Times, and he says this. He says white people were very badly treated where they did extremely well, and they were not invited to go to into an interview into
The university.
university and or to college. So, since when since when did white people were not allowed to go to school? When did that ever happen? So he's basically saying that white people got a bad rap when it came to the Senate.
Because of the civil rights movement. Yeah.
Right, but now he saved himself a little bit, tried to save himself a little bit because he says, you know, he says that there was some good accomplishments and wonderful things, but it also hurt a lot of people who didn't that didn't want to go to college and deserved to get a job were not able to. So it was reverse di- um, discrimination. That's
And
his
you know,
attitude.
it's just bogus lies, and we know that. Without the civil rights movement, poor white people didn't have access to education.
That's true.
Um, un- until the until Reconstruction, poor white people didn't have access to education, and it's been proven over and over and over that racist policies hurt poor white people. They pass laws to keep people of color from being able to access health care, and it also keeps poor white people from being able to access health care. All of those policies are just to protect rich white people.
Yeah, really, it was, and he's still trying to do that in this day and age, and
Hmm.
at the expense of everyone else. He basically thinks he can pay us back for the civil rights movement, and
Yeah.
I don't think he understands that nothing is going to go back to what it used to be. I bring this up all the time. I had a reporter ask me once if I believe that we will win, if we will prevail over all of the nonsense that's going on today. And he asked me this maybe about a year or two ago, and I said, I I see we will prevail, but I lament the cost.
Yeah.
I lament the cost, and because a lot of us are going to be hurt. A lot
Yeah.
of us who shouldn't have been hurt, or who should be. I mean, right now we have a 6-year old boy that's orphaned now,
Hmm.
and the only thing that you can get from the right is them trying to demonize her mother, his mother rather,
Hmm.
putting out fake uh, criminal records. She didn't have Renee Good didn't have a criminal record, and and it's just downright pathetic on their part, to be honest with you. And it needs to, and it just tells you what it is we're fighting. But we could have told you that years ago, or we did tell you that years ago. I mean, we basically are doing. I remember somebody telling me years ago that everything that's going on right now is what William Pierce wanted. That everything that's going on right now is what Pierce. And for those who don't know who William Pierce was, he was the guy who started the National Alliance, and he also wrote the Turner Diaries. So you can imagine what it is that is we're fighting, and it's just, but we'll be fine because people who hold on, just want to make sure our guest gets here. Um, the thing that we got to remember is that we are going to be going out there and we're going to be fighting, you know. And I want to just I want to talk about right at this time a fight that we've been dealing with down in Tennessee. And this is how me and Beth met. Um,
A
with
long time ago.
Yeah, yeah, we've been at this for about 12 years almost.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been chasing after Amron for a long time. I mean, for about 20 years, but we managed to chase him out of D.C. and then we chased him out of Charlotte, Carolina, and but they found a home in Tennessee, just about 45 minutes away from Nashville. And I think we're at a point where people are getting sick of them, very sick of them. So I wanted to talk to someone who was one of the people out there that was protesting the American Renaissance Conference this year, or last year rather, the last one. And this one was rather interesting. And we're going to bring her in right now. This year was pretty interesting because this was when a guy, when the local news actually reported ab- on the conference. I mean, they've done it before. They did little blurbs here and there, but there was a full on thing where they didn't go out to try to basically give him a fluff piece. I mean, Phil Williams don't do fluff pieces, and that's the reporter that went to go see them, and he exposed them a little bit more than they have been in recent years. And it says to me that people are going to start getting sick of them. And I think one of the reasons why I want to have Rory here is because it's she's one of the ones in the lead right now. I mean, haven't been there in a couple of years. Beth and I, we haven't been down there. When you hear us, you see us yelling in the trailer for my documentary. That was there. It was at that
Yeah.
spot, and I want to just have Rory come in and just explain exactly who she is and what she and what they saw that day. So welcome to the show, and how you feeling today? Oops, you're muted still. Hold on a second. Is that coming from our end? Hold on a second. Speak. Say something. Hold on a second. Let me just make sure that because while you were gone, make sure is she uh, all right. Can you she's no, you're still muted, I think. Can you say something? You there? Nah, I don't know what's going on. What had to be turned off here? I'm gonna let our director take care of that. And
I figured it out. I think, can you hear me?
yes, we did.
Okay, I figured it out. Sorry. My AirPods disconnected, and when they reconnected, it didn't give me any audio. So
Oh,
I
okay,
just had to go
okay.
change that setting. But yeah, thank you so much for having me. So I've been involved in organizing for Amarin for the past 2 years, and last year we really um, put a lot of effort into making sure, like trying to get the community involved, like as far as greater Nashville, because a lot of folks just don't know about it. And so we really emphasized we had educational sessions, we got involved with some other orgs, and I feel like we really like built a foundation. Like I feel like next year maybe we can expect a large turnout because now we have folks that know about it. We have folks that know that we are like a legitimate group, Hate Free Tennessee, and that know that we are conducting good work. But it was definitely frustrating watching, um, knowing how it's just directly like it's just a little think tank for what's happening.
Hmm.
So definitely a bit of dread there, but also knowing that we're making progress, even if the news shows that, oh, okay, well, like not a ton of people come, or Amarin reports back, oh, hardly any protesters, which we did have a decent group. I think knowing that we're really building the foundation and like laying the framework for actual, um, I don't know, change with it.
Well, that's the thing that's really important. I think one of the things that when we first started going after them down there, there wasn't a lot of pushback because no one, like you said before, no one really knew who they were or what they were there for and all of that. And then Trump, in his first term, when he first came in, then everybody came out, and we had about 100 people out there, and we was able to cause some grief. The thing is, that was the year where Charlottesville happened, and all the organizers behind Charlottesville was there 2 weeks prior, organizing and networking and making sure that Charlottesville was a success for them. And after that, the city, or rather the state, decided to clamp down on us.
Yeah.
And I mean, Beth can basically break it down even more than I can, better than I can.
The year before Charlottesville, it was amazing. I'm sure, Daryl. I was thinking we had close to 200 people there. We had church groups. We had And it was like a big party in the park, protest party. And um, and we had full access to our park. We had full access to our park. And then after, like Daryle was saying, after Charlottesville, sorry about that, y'all. After Charlottesville, they totally militarized everything and said we couldn't even go in the restaurant to eat, which is a violation of the Public Facilities Act. And I'm going to mute myself because the puppy has something to say.
So what I was gonna ask Roy is what is it that you saw and when it came to the police, and while I'm at it, how did Phil Williams approach you? I mean, did he talk to you at all too?
Yes, he interviewed me. He had been there the year before. We had sent out like an email, and he was the only person of all the press that we emailed to show up on the year before. And then he was back again. We saw him on Friday, recording, like trying to figure out who attendees were. And then again on Saturday as well. So his work has been quite impressive, as far as trying to expose folks.
Yeah,
Because go ahead, sorry.
I mean, I should, I would, I think, whenever when this podcast is on YouTube and all of that, I'm gonna have links to his report, because there were some people that showed up that he got that don't like their pictures being taken.
Yeah, and they came out because we were just kind of poking around on Friday, just a few of us, and they came out with like a big professional lens, taking pictures, and I yelled back. I made some snarky comment. I was like, "You get enough pictures to keep yourself warm at night, buddy?" And the cop yelled at me and said if I was going to be disruptive, I could leave. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm the problem
Whoa,
here."
whoa.
Yeah. He was like, "If you're gonna be disruptive, you can go to the protest pen. You can go to the First Amendment pen." I was like,
We've always yelled at them. That's even more repression than they were doing the last time I was there.
"Yeah, you can only have free speech in the free speech pen, apparently," which is what I think they called it, possibly the First Amendment pen,
Yeah, BS
which
that.
is really unconstitutional.
Oh no, I'll give you another. I'll give you one it pissed me off even more. The second, their I guess selective enforcement of the Second Amendment, because I just want to know for sure, did they have signs around the park this year that said you couldn't have firearms in the park? Did you see those signs at all?
No, but there's been recent legislation about whether or not you can, and I don't remember exactly what it is, but there's been some changes in Tennessee legislation recently about whether or not you can carry in a state park.
And can you or no? Did
I
they
don't
say?
know, they can. I don't
That's
think they
the
would have
point I
liked
was
it if
getting at.
we did.
Well, that's
But
the
no
point.
one,
That's
it
what I was getting
wasn't,
at. Yeah,
yeah.
because when we was going there, when we was dealing with it, and I'm gonna try to get down there this year if we don't shut it down. We're gonna get to that in a
Hopefully you
minute.
won't have to. Hopefully you can take a vacation to Nashville. Don't actually. It's pretty fashy out here, but um,
It's funny too, because it's like this. I mean, because what happened with me? I mean, and what happened? We was able to get somebody to go to the event, to go to the conference, and that meant that we could get the emails that they was giving all the attendees, and they would tell everybody who's protesting, people, I mean the general public really, with their signs and stuff, that you could not bring firearms to the to the park. They was getting emails saying that yeah, you can.
that's unsurprising.
And eventually, when we wrote about it, it turned into just keep them in your car. They still told us that we couldn't have ours, but we already saw the email saying that yes, you can. So I said, okay, we're fine. I want them to fight me over this one, and that was the year that the Proud Boys showed up to try to pick a fight with us. That's the video I should have showed.
They even I covered up. I stopped about like 2 miles down the road and covered up my plates, and then drove in. And one of the I don't know if it was a park ranger or like whatever cops they have there. It's like, you can't drive with that like that. Like while my car was parked, and I was like, are you so like?
It's ridiculous, and hopefully you're talking about giving us having a vacation again from all of this. I want them to get a one as well. So one of the things that we have been talking about is that we would like to try to start building off of all the concerns that was built up after the the news report. Now that people know who what this conference is and who was coming to this thing. And bear in mind, it was just about 2 or 3 years ago. Laura Loomer was speaking at this thing. Nick Fuentes spoke at this thing. You're talking about two people who have the ear of Trump.
I think he might have been there this past time.
He might have been. He might have been.
I feel like I saw something. I don't want to say that 100%. But
yeah, I mean, for most part, you'll see everybody from the Patriot Front. Basically does
Thomas Rousseau.
Yep, they'll show up.
Phil has video of.
They basically do security there. Apparently, they don't know how to fight, but they do. What they're doing security.
I feel like we could incapacitate them with just like a group of women, because they probably wouldn't even know how to like what that would be like. Like I don't think they could handle. Like we wouldn't have to carry. We wouldn't have to be aggressive. We would just have to be like, "Hey, I hate your hair," and they would be done. But yeah, I think like especially since like the last couple years, people didn't really know who was showing up to protest, and that kind of was like, or like, who was organizing that. I think that was like left interest in it dropped. I think another, like in addition to building just education about it in Middle Tennessee in general, it's been like connecting with other organizations, because now now everyone's a protester. Now everyone is, so there's a lot more people who like wouldn't have shown up before, because they would have been like, well, that's fine. They do their thing and it's terrible, but like they're not. Well, no, Stephen Miller is influencing, it's piloting this legislation in Tennessee. So now people are actually caring about it.
Oh, incidentally, I brought him up before to you privately, but even Stephen Miller has a somewhat connection to all of this too, because a guy who just passed away last year and no one cared, named David Horowitz, may he rest in peace. He introduced him to at least the writings and the work of Jared Taylor. He introduced Miller to all of that, and when he was going to Duke University, and he was running his little right wing student group, Miller invited what's his name, Peter Brimlow, to speak there, and of course he was friends with Richard Spencer, so he has a lot of connections to that freaking world, and everybody gets mad because people call him a white supremacist all the time. He says, no, he is that, whether you want to deal with it or not. I mean, it doesn't matter whether or not he's Jewish. He's a white supremacist.
I mean, I highlighted that.
What were you saying?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was done. So I wanted to.
Oh, well, I highlighted, like, when we've been, like, putting out our Ameren stuff, like, that, we highlighted that, like, the 2019 Breitbart leak, where the Breitbart editor, I believe her name was Kate McHugh, said you can tell, like, the I don't remember the exact quote, but it was like, you can tell that there's like a clear connection between his immigration policies and the white supremacist publications he's been reading, because he was found to have been citing American Renaissance and another publication in emails to people about, I guess, just being a white supremacist.
Well, see, this.
So, I mean, that's definitely still, it's so relevant. And I think that just getting people educated on that is so important to getting it gone.
I think one of the other really important things about Amran is that it shows that the state is on the side of the white supremacists.
100%.
It just really demonstrates, and we've seen like the state legislature pass legislation to protect them, and it couldn't be more clear where the state falls. And Roy, I just want to thank you for being out there, and for picking up. I moved from Tennessee, and I wanted to stay involved, but it's so hard to do those things from a distance. So thank you for doing that work.
Same.
I think well, that's what but regarding, the government's role, that's what I tell, because everyone's like, well, it's their, not everyone. People, oh, well, they have free speech. I'm like, okay, first of all, do you think that this would happen in New York? Do you think this would happen in Massachusetts? Do you think this would happen in California? No. Second of all, hate speech and is interpretable. Like, the state is allowing this to happen by interpreting this as innocuous, and that's also unacceptable. Tennessee's in pretty fascist shape right now, so I don't really see that changing. But I think the state is 100% culpable for what's going on.
And if it were free speech, it would be free speech for both sides. But what we saw is the side pushing back against them has been totally shut down. We have the full force of the state government and even federal government at times trying to make sure our message of saying no to this is shut down.
Yeah. What was even crazy too is I was in some of the local Facebook groups of the county and the area and town around it, like Dixon, Burns, looking, and some, a couple people had posted. And I gotta say, a lot of the comments of people who, live within a 15-minute radius of the park were, well, they should be allowed to do that. Or I saw one that was like, are they wrong? Like, they should be able to promote whiteness. Just the area is so, has been just, I don't know, I guess love for that to be normalized, because there's a lot of race people. Granted, there are locals who think it's wrong and show up, but.
Much love to, I forgot her name, but there was a special election just a couple of months ago.
Afton
where,
Bain?
huh?
Was it for District 7, Afton Bain?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She did better than any Democrat would ever do in
100%.
that town. Yeah, and that's a sign that there is some fatigue of all of this.
Yeah. I also saw something that said that she's not running for that role again because of part of the reason is the threats to her family that she received. She made a massive, because Mark Green, I think, won it with 60 something percent. She went a good amount of points to the left.
Can you imagine if she won? It'll have been insane in a town that basically loves to in a district where white supremacist conference is held every year. You were just talking about how this wouldn't happen in New York or Boston, or, well, we chased them out of New York, out of D.C. once we started telling people who they were. When I went in 2000 and they had the rallies, I had the conferences up in D.C. area. I ran into David Duke. He was a regular to these things. So, and what happens now? We have former Congressman Steve King going to and speaking and all of that. And it's I think everybody's pretty much getting sick of all of this. And that is one of the reasons why we're talking about it now, because we know that you're going to need help trying to get people. You want to stay with the momentum that the the news story had given, because people are at the point where they want to do something about this thing. So, what is your plans for the next just couple of months right now? What do you?
Um, so we we actually got a lot of recent traction. Uh, like we've been kind of ever since Amarin, we've kind of been on a up and up because we had folks come and be like, okay, well, like that was good. That was, um, kind of like legitimizing us in
Hmm.
the Nashville organizing space, and so we got a lot of traction. We had a protest about like a legislative reception, where all, of course, Marsha Blackburn and Bill Lee and all of our favorites were there, getting
Of
wined and dined
course.
by Core Civic and Amazon. And so we're excited to kind of have that momentum, folks, hearing about this immigration reform, hearing about the role of Stephen Miller, hearing about who Stephen Miller is, and kind of connecting that to Ameren, as well as just like having, um, like we do like educational events to like get people like and more involved in like anti-fascist values, like protesting or like leftist things. And so on a public level, to get people involved, that on a behind the scenes level, we're hoping to continue to coordinate with some organizations who do work with like policy and things like that, or who have to kind of get it canceled before, and like what are ways that we can make it harder for them to have it there. What are the loopholes we're missing, like for like what, this is a small example, but like Tennessee state policy with the Wi-Fi is that they're not allowed to look at anything hateful. Well, I find that really hard to believe that their Wi-Fi is not being used to perpetuate like violence. And I think that that was actually a thing that Phil did like fantastically, was to frame what they were doing. This is not hate speech. They're inciting violence. They're perpetuating political violence. I want to say he cited the Turner Diaries in um, his investigative report,
I
and
think he
talked
did.
about the like how this is not just people, like these are not just like a group of Nazis. They're getting together and they're like, yeah, we hate everyone who's not a white guy. These are people who are pushing an agenda and have successfully pushed an agenda of political violence. And I think if we take it with that perspective and use that message to say why it needs to be canceled, I think we'll have a little more success. And
And and my question, we have just a few more minutes, but I wanted to also ask, before you leave, people are going to want to know how to contact you, and we should have had a graphic for it already, but I'll put it on the repeat, the repeat after this. Uh, how do people contact you? How do people reach out to you?
absolutely. So we are on Instagram, Blue Sky. Instagram is at Hate Free Tennessee. We also have a website, and our website has a ton of information about Ameren, what we're doing to address it, and a lot of resources there. And that's hatefreetn.org.
I'm gonna throw that on there right
Um,
now. And
and once
but
you get to the
what
website,
can you
also,
can
it'll
you
let you
repeat
know.
it? Can you repeat that?
Hatefreetn.org.
Heat Freight TN dot
TN.org.
org. All right. And why did you have to shrink up like that? Oh, I don't care. I just want to make sure that everybody has it. But it's
I
up
put
there.
that link in the live chat on Substack too for anybody who's watching.
Okay, and you will see that if you're watching this on YouTube, you're gonna see it underneath. I mean, in our notes and all of that. So, and we'll also give you the Instagram, and you said Facebook too, or
Yeah, it's the same. It's the
okay,
Instagram is basically just, or the Facebook's just the Instagram post that gets shared, but I figure maybe it'll reach a wider audience of
okay,
folks
of
who are on
older
Instagram.
folks,
It's the same thing. Yeah, yeah.
old heads like me.
So,
Well, I want to thank you very much for coming out. And you know what? More to the point, I want to thank you for keeping the work done, and it's really important.
Absolutely.
And
well,
it's really
it's not just
important.
me. I have a lot
Yes.
of people. There's a lot of folks who've been um, putting in the hours. putting in the mental effort and all of that. So I cannot take full credit for it.
Yeah, exactly. I know a lot of people, and the sad thing is, I know a lot of people couldn't come forward like you have today. Some folks they have to keep themselves on the DL. So I'm glad you're
Yeah.
representing. I'm very glad that you're representing. We're going
I
to be working
realized
together.
that. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying we will be working together for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I realized that there's a lot of folk, in Tennessee, you kind of got to try to diversity of tactics, diversity of people, diversity of tactics, as much as possible. And it was a lot. It was a better move to not cover my face, to be public, to get people to show up.
Yeah.
And I think it has fortunately paid off. But so now I'm like, okay, well, this is my face. Come get me. I know some guy from Ameren who I didn't get a good picture of, have not been able to figure out who it was, has about probably 1,000 pictures of me, which I felt like was excessive. Like,
then
I feel
there's
like
that.
I'm like, I feel like you have enough to identify me. Now you're just taking them for fun. Like,
No, yeah, but we got to remember that that's an also an incel convention. So
it's truly.
Yeah, the patriarchy is as thick as the white supremacy there. Of course, those things
Oh,
always go
100%.
together.
Yeah.
Well,
hopefully we'll have someone to go in next year. So
if we it happens, if the community is sick of this nonsense, of all the drama that they bring, then it may not happen. But let's see what happens in the future. Again, I want to thank you for coming here today, and like I said, we're going to be working together in the future. One of the things that I would just say here while we're on while I'm thinking about it, remember, if you have anything that you want published on IDAVOX, by all means, just hit me up, and we will, either me or Beth, we can we'll see it done. We'll see it done, because it's important that everybody knows that, Jared Taylor and his crew, it's time for them to leave Tennessee. Matter of fact, every white supremacist, and you realize that this is going to be the 100. It's something like it's an important. Well, the Klan started in
Pulaski,
yeah, and the building is still there. I have taken pictures of myself there, and we're talking about is it the 150th or something like that? Year 150th anniversary of the Klan this year.
Can I have an old person moment?
Sure.
I just had I'm sitting here laughing out loud because I'm having this beautiful memory about Ameren.
Uh-oh.
And it was my favorite protest movement probably of my entire life. Do you know about the Antifa Navy? Have you heard those stories?
But that wasn't Ameren. Oh, no, you don't know about this. It wasn't Ameren, but Ameren was allowed.
It was that other white supremacist conference, wasn't it?
Yeah, a month later. Yeah, we got lots of video from inside.
They wouldn't let us in, so we took to the water, and we had the
we talked about that.
Chasing us through the water, wanting to board our vessel, and I'm calling our attorney from the middle of the lake, and he's like, "I don't know anything about maritime law. I didn't know this was going to be important." But we did some creative things back then, and you all are now too. So yeah,
and you can still do that, even though they pulled it in November now. Hey, see if you can get on the water.
I've always wanted a barricade of canoes across that lake. Just
they left kayaks. You know how usually, I feel like maybe I'm wrong. But usually everything's closed up. But I swear there were some kayaks there, and we were like, we could bring some.
We could bring them over that hill onto the lake. There's a way.
We could also just wear scuba gear with a wetsuit and just
remember, November, it is cold water here.
Yeah, when I say we, I mean other people with stronger constitutions who are more tolerant to cold. I'll keep yelling from the shore.
I don't want hypothermia for Ameren. No, we're not doing that.
It would be funny though if the county had to send out like all the emergency services and we're just, yeah, it would cause a scene.
Bet we would. Phil Williams would love to come to that scene.
Yeah.
All right. But in any case, again, thank you very much for coming tonight. And this won't be the last time you're on the show. We're going to be keeping
Awesome. Thank you so
keeping
much for
things
having
up
me.
on everything. We're going to be here next week at 7:00. Remember that we're asking people for donations. Obviously, we want people to keep on helping us out to keep this show on. Feel free to subscribe. And what we are trying to do, hopefully for next week, maybe it'll work. We're going to be streaming on YouTube Live and on Facebook Live. So hopefully next week.
And still on Substack.
Yeah, we actually, we're still going to stay on Substack. But we hopefully we've actually have a test. We're testing it out now, so I don't even know. Maybe it is showing on online right now, but we don't know yet. I won't know until I get off of this thing. So I want to again thanks everybody. I'm going to play that bumper, that trailer for the documentary We Don't Walk in Fear, and it will show you a little bit. Like I said, in the end, when you hear Beth tell them we're gonna go over the fucking barricade and all of that. So in any case, I want to thank everybody for being with us tonight, and we'll be back next week at 7:00 EST, and we're going to be keeping an eye on what's going on again in not just Minnesota, but also, Venezuela, what's going on there, Greenland, Iran, or in your town. Who knows what might be happening sometime soon. We still haven't talked about that brother in LA who got killed.
And the Cuban immigrant they choked to death.
Yes, we got a long list here.
Yeah.
And
there's also the baby that got gassed a couple hours ago.
Oh man, they say that they're legal. Listen, no, we will be talking a lot more next week. So take care, everybody. And here's that trailer again. Hopefully, I have some more commercials tomorrow, next week too. So take care, y'all. Peace.
Why do you think that you have the right to silence me?
I always said that I don't want to be heard, I want to be felt. I don't want to make my mark, I want to make my dent.
I didn't realize at the time that I was actually one of the biggest activists and largest organizers of white nationalism and alt-right in the United States.
They are what is considered by most people sort of your button-up white supremacists, your suit and tie Nazis.
Arguably, what they spew, while it's hateful and deplorable, is political speech, and so therefore it's protected under the Constitution.
Cops, why are you letting the fascists down here? You've got us blocked off, but you're letting the fascists come and harass us? We want them out of here now, damn it, or we're coming over the fucking barrier.
I can't walk in fear, and we don't walk in fear, and I thank God for that.
Honestly, I wanted to make sure that when I left this earth, there would be something left behind that was worth a damn.
4 bands, 9 songs, 1 good cause, and I even do spoken word on the thing.
Setting on a pen history. We are
head on over to OnePeople'sProject.com and get your copy of this important CD. Bottom line, we all in the fight now.
Good show. Good show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. No, I think, Ori?